In news today, Michael Saylor is at it again. MicroStrategy to raise $2 billion to buy more Bitcoin. MicroStrategy is adding to their stash of 226,500 Bitcoin. Gold has been under pressure, and you've seen the main markets do some pretty damn weird things. An update: Iran will launch the initial attack against Israel with the help of Iraq, Yemen, and Syria. Cities and infrastructure targets will be attacked first, and then Hezbollah will also respond in a second wave. There's been a lot of problems geopolitically, and gold has been sniffing them out. When things get hot geopolitically, we can expect gold to put in a stellar performance. But just be aware, when things drop off a cliff, aka recessions, people also sell their gold. But then they typically buy it straight back again, so just be aware of this. But we've seen gold break out to new highs. Gold is very geopolitically sensitive, so if you're seeing increased momentum inside the gold market, it typically means trouble is on the front, or the front door, so to speak, and we've seen gold put in a stellar performance. Large-scale attacks of this sort bring a lot of economic problems in their wake, and it typically creates a lot of consternation within markets. This particular news has injected a lot of fear inside the main market, inside the VIX, and when the VIX goes up, it's not good for the markets. They do tend to come down, and they drag everything down with it. But you can see gold's been on a rampage of late, just recently. Things yesterday were improving with junk bonds, but the news of imminent war in the Middle East has caused things to just derail themselves, so please just be aware of this. This is what we get inside markets all the time. It looks good and then it looks bad. We just have to deal with it. We also must be aware that Bitcoin cannot escape the stock market's gravity. If the stock market is coming down, we expect Bitcoin to come down also. We saw a little bit of a divergence in the banking crisis. Could this be a divergence as well? Please let me know in the comments, what do you think about Bitcoin rallying up while the futures are diverging? Hong Kong's largest online broker, Futu Securities, has launched a Bitcoin and crypto trading platform, zero-fee trading and free Bitcoin rewards for new accounts. Not too shabby. In other news today, US Senator officially introduces the Bitcoin Act to establish strategic Bitcoin reserve. US Senator Cynthia Lummis has officially introduced the Bitcoin Act in the Senate and proposing the purchase of 1 million Bitcoin. She described her bill as a historic proposal to supercharge the US dollar and pay down national debt by establishing a strategic Bitcoin reserve. This bill is pretty historic because it opens the doorways for a lot of states to just say, yeah, I'm going to hold Bitcoin and therefore buy it. We typically see a lot of negative momentum into September, and I've covered this previously in different videos, so please be aware that we could get a bit of a pullback in the market and a rally into the end of the year. And there's something I need to let you know about Bitcoin's gravity. Hi everyone, I'm Ken from Crypto Trading KS and the inventor of the CTKS method. We've seen Ethereum just down slightly 1.38% in the past 24 hours. Bitcoin is up nearly 0.5%. We can see the crypto market is putting in a bit of a technical bounce. Yeehaw! Over the past 24 hours, the greatest gainers are Helium, Popcat, Aave, Celestia, AIOZ, Mantra, AKT, and eCash. If you're new, a very warm welcome and welcome back, CTKS family. It's nice to see that pump coming in the last 24 hours. If you're new, please subscribe. We have the best community on YouTube. We can see over the last 24 hours the greatest losers: Audi, WIF, EOS, Conflux, Rune, Arweave, ENS, and LDO. But one thing we also notice is that technical bounce is coming through on these particular projects. It's just weaker than other projects at the current time. It's often a really good idea to look at the subcomponents of the crypto market. Keep your eye on these groups. It'll really help you out. And let's just go digging in a little bit deeper. Let's check out the memes. The memes are particularly interesting. Retail first gets involved with memes when they get into the crypto space, and there's a lot of liquidity in the memes, which means that higher value accounts can get in there and make some decent dollars. It's pretty interesting. Memes are probably an interesting thing to pop on your radar. Keeping your eye on the heat map, when we look at chain, we can see that Solana has been hit more than Ethereum and BNB has been hit less than ETH and Sol. Keeping your eye on these relativities can be really, really helpful to you. Tron in a sell-off tends to shine in the darkness because it tends to mint stablecoins, so keep your eye on Tron going green. And we can see that AVAX is just a little bit in the green. CRO, HBAR, and Mantra OM, and as well TIA. We know that no alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. If your project has been going down like this, it's because of Bitcoin, and now it's coming up. That's because of Bitcoin as well. We can look into different sectors, such as the Ethereum ecosystem, gaming inside the service, memes, distributed computing and file storage, AI and big data, Solana, real-world assets. And we can see some really interesting things. In AI and big data, TIA is an outstanding player. It's at the top of Bitcoin's gravitational river, and this river is really good to keep your eyes on. If you see that Bitcoin is improving, you expect the alts to improve. And that's what we've actually seen just recently. Bitcoin has done a bit of a technical bounce just in here, and that's giving a lot of momentum inside the crypto market. When we look at the memes, on the bottom is WIF. You can see it's literally down 16%. Bitcoin is down the least, and this is what we anticipate. Bitcoin is the candlestick pattern behind all of these particular cryptos that have been overlaid, but it's a little bit hard to see on some of these charts. What we expect to see when Bitcoin goes negative is that the alts will bleed far more than Bitcoin, and we see this all the time. Turning specifically to some of the top crypto projects, we can see Bitcoin, of course, is number one. It's the greatest by market capitalization. It came down and it's just retraced at the current time. It's currently 64,910. But the interesting thing is when we overlay this particular price action on another alt, which is that blue line, that's Bitcoin, you can see how closely the directional movement of Bitcoin plays out on the alts, especially when we get a sell-off. You can see Binance Coin just following in Bitcoin's footsteps. And what about Solana? Following as well, just a little bit weaker. What about XRP? It's also following, a bit of a gap in there. Dogecoin is following and also a bit of a gap. And you can note that Binance Coin is filling that gap in terms of Bitcoin's gravitational pull. What about ADA, Cardano? It's just following, and it's quite strong compared to Dogecoin, compared to XRP, compared to Solana, and also Ethereum. Speaking about Ethereum, what about Ethereum Classic? We can see that Ethereum Classic is just following the directional push and pull of Bitcoin. So no matter what project that you're investing or trading your dollars into, please be aware, if Bitcoin is coming down, you have a high probability of your project following Bitcoin. And if Bitcoin is going up, you have a high probability that it's also following Bitcoin's movements up. Keep your eye on Bitcoin. We've seen in the past 24 hours there were some fantastic buying opportunities inside the crypto market. No alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. It's gravity that you've got to pay a lot of attention to. And when we look at the greatest gainers over the past 24 hours, in terms of Bitcoin's gravitational movement, Aave and Tia are doing really well. HBAR is out in front. The laggards, WIF, Rune, Arweave, True. Pretty interesting. Returning to our previous example, I just asked the community a couple of days ago if you could turn a 1% profit on whatever crypto that you love, just in, I don't know, a day. For example, Cycle, 1% per day. You would actually end up making 10%. And if you could do that for 7 days, that would be a 70% return. So when you think about small percentages, they can really add up. If you could do that 30 times, that's a 300% return. And if you could do it 365, well, that's a phenomenal return. But the key is, turning 1% on crypto is not too bad. It is possible. This is why I always say you don't have to make big percentages to make big percentages. That's what that means. And well done to everybody that got involved with that question. It's a really good thing to just keep in mind. And remember, where you buy, going long at spot, that's what counts. That's why we say in the CTKS family, it's not a bull market, it's not a bear market, it's always a BORSOG market. What's a BORSOG market? If you're new, a very warm welcome. BORSOG is buy on red, sell on green. Those 1% are possible to do. Just look back at your favorite crypto and see if it's a possibility. When seeking to get your 1%, it's important to do your daily risk management, your three-dimensional risk management. That is, that if you buy, you're not buying at the bottom, as most people think automatically. When you place an order, you're always thinking this is the lowest it can possibly go. Unless you're using the CTKS method, then you know it can go down further or further. So profits are made where you buy. If you buy low enough, you're going to profit by any retracement. BORSOG is not DCA, it's not dollar cost averaging, and we also think from 3 different perspectives simultaneously. What if we buy and the market turns against us? What if we buy and the market goes nowhere? And what if we buy and the market goes up? And we typically buy long at spot, so we want the market to go up. Always have these 3-dimensional thoughts in your mind at all times. It's really important. The question for the community today is, how do you think from a 3-dimensional perspective, and how easy is it to do? And doing the code is a really good way to do it. The explanation of the code is just in here. It's just broken up into different areas that will help you to understand how to look at price volatility. Just keep in mind, you only have to do that 1% and keep on turning it over to get huge percentages. If you pop across to ctksmethod.org and just scroll down, a newsletter is coming soon and it's completely free. Please make sure that you sign up. And if you go down a little bit further, you can see some different trades I've shared on YouTube. They've just been collected in one spot for you. Have a great day or night ahead, my friends, and Kate and I look forward to catching up with you again in the next video. Bye for now.